On
make
his
sure your
chin.
mustache doesn't get.
I thought when you were doing
chapped.
that analogy, you were going to say it's like having a cow and not milking it.
Yeah,
You
no,
were
that
gonna give
that
one of
analogy wouldn't fit.
Your, I know.
Yeah, but
That doesn't-
sometimes
it
never
I only
usually
use
does.
analogies that fit.
All right, next one.
All
bro.
right, so let us know.
What if you?
Here we
Wait,
go.
wait. What if you get a 3 again? Is that
Then
the same
he's got another
I've got
question.
other
Good.
questions.
Yeah,
Just
easy,
relax.
Easy.
4.
You
4.
didn't get a 4. You lied.
It's right in between.
3. I can see it from here.
It's in between.
Here it is. Number 4.
Don't doubt.
Best. Were you playing your
I was
round guitar?
Yep. No, it's got no whatever they call that.
Strings?
A neck. No
Oh,
neck.
yeah, no neck.
It's just a
The no neck guitar.
yeah.
Yeah, here we are. We're
39
getting ready
episode.
for 39, and we're into a new year, 2023. We won't talk like old people and say, I can't believe that we're in 2023. But it is hard to believe.
2022 went pretty fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
For about a week and a half, I'll make mistakes on my bank
I hear you.
deposits and everything like
Do you remember
that.
when you were in school? Did you guys have to do that every single...
Name, date.
Yep, name, date, and on the other side, maybe your box number or locker
don't know
number
what
or
that-
something like
yeah,
that.
we
used to
didn't
have
do
to do
that.
that in college. So last week we had Cal, the radical podcaster, on. That was
Mini
fun.
interview and taste
taste
first
test.
guest taste test.
Yeah.
You'll have to let us
I
know
hope
what
you
you thought
enjoyed
about
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we liked it.
And we were a little bit discombobulated because of the holidays and such. As you probably know, we all were.
People may not have even noticed it.
They
but
may not have, and you're supposed to be careful. One of the things they taught you in radio right away is if you made a mistake, don't call attention to it by going back and saying something. Especially like you make a mistake going into a song, don't say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I did this."
So that's what we're gonna do here.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
We're gonna do what they told
we're
you
gonna
not
break
to
all
do.
the rules.
Yeah.
But we did say that we were going to have your WhisperRoom information last week, and we're actually having it this week.
Yeah.
And then we said that we were going to have the Christmas pictures this week, and we had them last week. But let's make sure let's have that little segment again somewhere, and so that people can see it, because we really appreciate it. It was Cal and his 2 girls,
His 2 daughters,
It was
Lainey and Maisie.
Yeah.
Kurt Greendeer sent a picture of his children
up in the Dells
worked with
area.
him at the House of Wellness.
And then some people might not know they knew us because
Yeah.
we're goonish
Yeah.
and stupid, but they didn't know the young men that were all
Yeah.
leaning forward. Those are
Lucas Kennedy, who runs for. Does he run for North Dakota State or is it South?
I
Dakota?
thought it was the South Dakota State.
One of the Dakotas he runs for. And sorry, Lucas, for
Division I cross country runner, and that was his team that
they were
was with him.
and they're the Jackrabbits. So they were Jackrabbits pulling Santa's sleigh is kind of the theme.
Oh, is that
to
what
it,
that was?
instead of
Okay.
reindeer.
Okay.
So
Well,
anyway,
when I see it, I'll have to look at it a little bit differently than I did last time.
yeah. So Damon will play that sometime
Yeah.
throughout the podcast.
So
yeah.
this week we are going to be talking about the WhisperRoom.
Sure are.
You purchased a WhisperRoom. Boy, he is going right up there. And, we talk about a podcast that this is the original father-son voiceover podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Hudson does. That's what I do. And we have a family business that really is voiceover related. And that's why we call it that. So we talk quite a bit about it because that's what we're involved in. And we have other videos that are related to voiceover. But that's why we're showing you a little bit about your new studio, WhisperRoom.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got a new game, and that was my
guitar,
guitar
yeah.
thing that Joe Bob made up.
Yeah, so
And
basically there's a couple different numbers on there that are a different topic of questions. So you spin it, you get that topic, everybody answers it. So you'll see that
on the spot
in our first segment, and then my WhisperRoom will be next, and then
This
we're
Day
going to
in
do This Day
History.
in History with Drew.
Yep.
So you guys will be gone to Michigan. So we'll also have our numbers and Todd's tips, as always. So if there's anything you guys want to see, anything you want us to talk about
starting a
in
new year.
voiceover,
Yeah.
anything you want us to talk about via, that's Mazomania related, that's small town related, that's maybe just a topic you're interested in thinking or asking what we think about. Feel free to ask us.
Yeah. We're
Do
getting
it in
more
the
comments and people are
likes and-
subscribing.
yeah.
So thank you for that too. We appreciate it.
Well, let's get into 39 so that we don't out ourselves and say anything more that we were going to do this week that we weren't. So let's get into it.
Hey,
Hey, this is Bill DeWeese, pro voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. And this is the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast.
Say welcome to another edition of the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast. My name is Todd. Drew is off to my right. Joe is off to his right, manning the computer. John is up at the table, and Hudson is in complete charge of what goes on technically. And he's...
I don't let anybody else do anything.
No, well, that's because you want it done right. And this is the 39th episode of the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast, and we are glad that you're here with us. And I think, if I've got my dates right, I think this is the first one of the new year, 2023. So we're glad you're with us. If you want to like and subscribe,
If you'd like to like,
and comment, more comments. That's kind of fun.
we sure are. That is fun.
And so thank you guys for
If
commenting.
you've got questions for us, you can
Yep.
email us personally too if you don't want to put them in the comments. HudsonBarsness@yahoo.com. All lowercases, no spaces.
A lot of people, I know that a lot of people want to know, are we really a family? Am I really your dad, or are we just actors? Now,
I
locally,
don't think anybody's...
Or do we just
are
know
we just
people who
actors?
are
Are we just
members of
actors?
We're actors pretending that we're really bad
Well, that takes
at
a lot
acting.
of work.
I know it. I know it.
No, but there's been good comments, so thank you for that. And on YouTube, what we're looking for, we are super great with Facebook, likes and
If you have a
following and
YouTube
stuff
page
like
and
that.
you watch us, if you'd like to say something, even if it's goofy, say it in the YouTube comments. That would be cool.
I forgot
And like
this.
it on YouTube. You're already. We're almost two minutes in.
Okay.
So
I thought that was your New Year's resolution.
Well, you
Is to
haven't,
make sure you press the clock.
we
each
haven't
time.
officially
he did a
done
lot
that
better
yet, so
I bought
before,
that.
so-
I bought that clock for a reason, for us to stay on time, and I man it. And now the last 2 or 3 times I've forgotten, but I
think
think
you have a
New
different
Year's
definition of what
resolution
man is.
that's going to stop. I am going to remember it.
we've got a little bit of a new thing here. Joe came up with. We'll see how it goes. And then we've also got kind of a game, kind of a question and answer thing.
Mm-hmm.
We got a wheel that we spin here. I've got it.
you wanna
You
show
can't
it?
really see it that well. I'll show it to you.
It's handmade.
You'd never know.
Handcrafted.
Looks like you purchased it at
What are the colors?
Games
There we
Are
go. There's
Us.
the colors. Kind of looks like a Pokeball.
And so, what is that? Each one represents a question that we're going to
Purple
handle.
is 1.
Purple is 1.
Red is 2.
All
Blue
right.
is 3. And green is 4. And you just said it, I think.
all right, and they represent a question that we're
Mm-hmm.
going to discuss.
And then we're going to talk a little bit about my purchase. I don't think we talked about it yet. My WhisperRoom that I bought. There it is. There you have it.
And
I said
that's
it.
coming up. You mean? A little
That'll be
later?
later.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be another part. So
That's exciting.
it's a 2-part harmony.
Yep.
Well, Joe,
Let's
tell us.
spin that wheel, man.
There's no other rules.
Nope.
Oh.
Spin the wheel and
Well,
we'll
we
talk
got-
about
then
it.
the
They'll
question will come
figure
up.
out.
Yeah, we'll
Oh,
figure it
hey, just a second. They can.
Oh.
When we do these,
Yeah.
they could add.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, in the
You
comments.
can add
yeah.
to these. I mean, because we've
You
got.
can
And
answer
you'll
these.
figure it out as we go along. So don't
You
get nervous.
have the
Don't worry, we'll be doing the
power.
same thing, figuring out as we go along.
Yeah, and so as we mention these, then you can give us topics for us to talk about on our wheel of whatever it is, wheel of
Wheel of Wonder,
talking,
Wheel of Talking.
wheel of talking, wheel of
Maybe you
stories.
guys will name our wheel. Name our wheel in the comments.
That's a lot to
Nobody's
ask.
going to do that because we couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
Also, John's really cold. He's wearing his brand new
Yep.
It's a little chilly up here.
coat up here.
Bought this Costco.
I had Gator
Not
on.
a sponsor.
Costco's.
Looks like I should be working with Aaron right now.
It
at
does.
Handlebar.
Yeah.
But you're just advertising,
advertising.
and Joe's advertising Wick,
Full
our
time.
other
There you
reverse
go.
sponsor, and
John will test
Hudson.
drive all of your things
Yep.
to make sure they're working right.
Yeah, I won't be working on them. You will.
These
you would
are-
not want
Yeah,
that.
I'll be right.
These are our 2 reverse sponsors, Handle Bar Performance and Wick Building, and then these are our 2 we haven't gotten
Future
them
sponsors.
yet. Columbia and
Carhartt. Yep.
And Vortex.
And Bass
Vortex.
Pro Shop. Yep.
Vortex. Yeah.
Yep. Can I go back to just a second before we get to that?
Please do.
We want people to especially like and subscribe and comment on YouTube, but you also have an Instagram.
I do.
And you've been posting on that a little bit. So you can follow us at,
The original father son, I think, voiceover podcast.
is that
Nobody
hashtag?
took that one.
No, nobody's got that one. That's
Is
just
it
that's
hashtag?
ours.
Is it hashtag original?
Yeah,
Is that how you have to
I
do
think if you just go to if you have Instagram, you just go to the little magnifying glass down there. It's a search bar, and you just type in original father son, and I think it pops right up.
Having Instagram would be a good start.
Yeah.
That's true. Yep, I didn't have it until this, and I don't know how to run it. So that would be fun for people to watch, is to see that guy knows nothing about Instagram. There you have it.
Nothing.
All
about
right,
me.
let's get into it. I'm gonna spin the wheel
Has no brains.
and
no brain.
find out. That didn't work.
Two.
Sorry.
1.
Oh, what's wrong with the thing, Joe?
Well, you were kind of messing with it.
Well, it was kind of.
It's fragile.
I think it's supposed to be a little loose so that it spins.
My fault.
Perfect. Oh,
Nope, it doesn't spin. It's too. There we
There
go.
we go.
Three. My
Three.
favorite number.
Our first question
big number 3.
under the number 3 category is your favorite out to eat location.
Oh,
Your favorite out
out
to
to
eat
eat
location.
location.
Now, that doesn't necessarily have to be that it's open yet. It could be one that's defunct or
Now
closed.
we probably shouldn't,
Oh.
just to make sure, because we were talking about learning on the fly here. So it's really his question, and that question might come around again. Is that possible to one of us if we were to spin it?
We
No,
all
it's everybody's.
answer it.
Everybody
Oh,
answers
okay.
it. Yep,
Yeah.
everybody's going to answer it, and then we'll go and spin it again, and then it'll be on
But we'll
another
start with
one.
Hudson and go this way.
Got it.
So who's going to start? Who's going to start, Joe? This is your
Let's
game.
not punch the microphone.
Joe,
Hudson's gonna
Hudson's
start
going
'cause
to
he's got
start.
the wheel.
You wield it, so you
No, I'll
start,
deal it.
Hudson. Yep.
All
Your
right.
favorite out to eat location, and it can be something that's no longer,
around.
or it could be a carnival that came and went. You ate at that one of those
Interesting.
food
Ooh, food
trucks
trucks.
or something like that.
Boy, this is putting me on the spot. I'll go with.
Kind of play the game.
Yeah. Okay. Wait till you spin the wheel.
Well,
Find
then
out.
I'll be on the spot.
Yep. I'm gonna go with Culver's. I'm gonna go with Culver's. That's a big.
No, that's not. It's a good choice.
That's an easy one. Have you ever had a bad meal at Culver's?
We had a bad one in Michigan. We ordered to go, and the burger was just. I won't say that. It wasn't up to the standard that I'm used to of Culver's. That's the one time, only one time. It was just one time, and
It was one time.
I don't. Something may have gotten mixed up. Who knows? One time. I'm willing anomaly.
Okay.
So anyway, McDonald's is a close second, but we didn't ask for my second
contact
favorite.
Craig Culver?
No,
and
I had you
complain?
did because you're good friends with him. Anyway, Joe, you're
so
up.
wait, what do you get at Culver's?
Culver's Bacon Deluxe Value Basket.
Okay. Do you
Probably
upgrade?
Take off the
double.
tomatoes. Take
Probably
off
a
the
double,
pickles.
right?
If they ask. If they don't, I just leave it as a single. But normally
really?
they ask. Yep.
Interesting.
I used to substitute the French fries for cheese curds, being a son of a cheesemaker. I used to before that. I would get
You're
You were a cheesemaker?
Well,
you're-
I mean,
Generationally.
yeah, I mean, I wasn't a cheesemaker. I wasn't the
You were.
cheesemaker. My dad was, and his dad was.
Yeah.
I just tore
You
papers
just
and
wrapped.
ran.
You just
ran
wrapped
errands
part of
as a
it,
kid.
yeah.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
could say
But I
son of
never
a
made
cheese
They
wrapper.
wouldn't let me
Yeah.
do that.
Anyway, you stole my thunder.
What's yours, Joe?
I can't remember the name of it, but where we went for chicken that one time.
Oh, yes.
In Cincinnati?
Cincinnati.
What's the name of it? I can't remember.
No, it's
not Popeyes.
It's Raisin Cane's.
Raisin
Raising
Cane's.
Yeah.
Wait, they have the one in Madison, right?
Yeah.
Sure do.
That's where you guys
On
went.
Raising
State
Cane's.
Street.
And
Chicken is the
bread
best chicken I've ever had.
is-
These people, we talked about
It's
it on the
fine.
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
John
These-
said it was
They're
overrated.
haters. They don't even know. When have you had?
It was just hyped up a lot
When
more
have
than
you
I-
ever had
I didn't say it
bread
was
that
bad.
was like that? That bread.
The bread was really
Probably
good.
not. I probably
Ever.
haven't. But
Yeah.
I wasn't. I don't know if I would have. I like their dipping sauce. That was
Yes.
pretty good. But
Cane sauce.
cane sauce. But I don't know for sure if I would if I if it was a choice between, I know that you said the portions of fries, it wasn't that much.
It
if
was
you asked for
different in
fries.
Cincinnati. Damon got a whole nother plate.
I would go for fries rather than the bread.
More fries.
But I didn't not like it. I just thought
I'm not gonna knock that.
I
it's
will.
just a-
But
it's just a-
I
it's
like
just
the
a-
respect
chicken.
that.
I like the
Yeah.
chicken. The breading was great, but the chicken was nice and juicy, and
Yeah.
that's what I
It
like.
was. It was flaky.
And the
It
cane
was good.
sauce was good. The fries were good, and the bread was
Yeah.
palatable.
Joe's.
But you guys, you
Snob.
went, and Demond went.
Yeah.
Did Deshaun go?
No, State Street. We
To
went.
State Street to Raising Cane's. And then when we visited the voice of our podcast, you hear him right away. It's Bill DeWeese.
Yeah.
And we visited him for our other business.
Maybe the bread was
marketing
better
program.
there because it was on a higher elevation or something. So it
it
proved
is
better.
hilly, but I
Maybe
don't
it
know for
rises
sure.
better.
Yep.
Yeah, who knows?
So Drew, what's yours favorite?
I mean, I would have to say Culver's. I like Culver's a lot.
Not an originalist.
I do like Raising Cane's.
Mhm.
I like Chick-fil-A.
You've only been there twice though.
That's true. Guess it can't be my favorite then.
I didn't say that. I was just saying we've gone to Culver's a lot more, and we continue to return.
Yeah.
It's easy to
Frequent
go back.
buyers.
Easy to go back.
Oh yeah.
When I was
I
at
like a lot of. I mean, I don't have really a problem with a lot of.
fish, do you get the fish sandwich ever?
Never.
Does that ever cross your mind?
No. I don't think
I wouldn't
you
even.
go to-
I wouldn't even
Mom
accidentally
gets it.
order that.
Mom likes the fish sandwich.
That's true. Yep. To each his
own.
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 Guess.
When I was a kid on University Avenue, when you'd go through, just you go straight. It's hard to tell. It's hard to remember how everything looked, but you're going through on University Avenue, and you start to take a turn, going in toward Madison, and off to the left, road jutted off, and there was a Shakey's Pizza parlor. Now, I think there's still Shakey's around, but I don't know where. I don't think around here. And I liked that, and I liked it for two reasons. One, I really like pizza, and two, we very rarely went out to eat. And so we would go there once in a while, and I remember the first time there having just a cheese and black olive pizza. And that was, to me, that was so good. And so Shakey's Pizza is mine.
Is it favorite restaurant or favorite fast food
Location.
restaurant?
I just
Location.
said-
It incorporates all of them.
I just said favorite place to eat, kind of.
Yeah,
Oh.
out to eat.
Oh, yeah, I thought you said
Favorite.
favorite fast food.
Yeah,
And,
that's
and
all I
it could
would
be
eat.
gone. And it could be gone.
Favorite out to eat location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's mine, Shakey's.
I'm going to take this question as my favorite restaurant that I've ever eaten at. That's how I'm going to take it because Culver's is the best around here, and if I have the choices, I'm probably choose Culver's. That being said, the best place that I've eaten out was Midwood Smoke.
Oh, that was good.
So that was there was a
Not a
few
sponsor.
locations I believe in the Charlotte
yet.
area or in North Carolina.
Oh.
But when Drew went down, and then Deshaun, and I drove down,
Yeah.
we went to Midwood Smoke, and the meat was good, but they had good portions too, and that was that restaurant was if you put me if it came up between Culver's and Midwood
I'd go
Smoke,
to
I'd
Midwood
go to
Smoke,
Midwood
yeah.
Smoke.
Why? What was?
I just thought that it was just a nice. I just liked the food. It's just something that was
The type of food you're saying?
Culver's is more of it's quite a step above fast food. It's fast
Yeah.
food, but it's
yeah.
they do
Top
a good
notch.
job there. It's top notch. But
Midwood Smoke
But
is
I
more of
would-
a sit down restaurant.
What was it like? A decor? Was the decor really nice?
No, I just
or
thought
was
I just thought the
was it like
food in
Famous
general.
Dave's where they had lots
Yeah,
of
I thought
meat
it
and
was
stuff?
just
Yeah.
a good portion size, and the quality was good, and the different tastes because it was like Hush Puppies, which is like a deep fried
Cornbread.
which that was neat to have, and then homemade pickles. And
Deshaun
dill
really
pickles.
liked the homemade
Deshaun Really
pickles.
liked the homemade pickles, and
He
then
said, "What are these?"
the barbecue sauces that you could put on the meat, and then the meat that I had, and then I had a half chicken. I mean, there was just lots of.
Wow.
And then there was
John
there
had
was
half
there
a
was
chicken.
well, I don't know how it all
It was
breaks
just like
down.
it was just like a leg and a breast, basically.
Yeah. And then they had coleslaw, and there was just a lot of different tastes to it.
Taste
and
But
texture
Culver's
together.
it's just every day it's bringing it, and it's good stuff. But if I had the choice between what's my favorite restaurant that I've been to, that would be that my favorite restaurant that I've gone to, I guess more times out of none that I would choose, it would be
I feel like what you're saying is for an analogy's sake is that you have the wood place that you
Midwood.
like Midwood is that's like trying to pick out the best like stats of a basketball player or something like that and say that year that's what I would want. That's the year. But if you want consistency, you want somebody that's going to be there all the time.
okay.
Culver's.
Yep.
I'm going to Culver's. I'm going to like
I haven't had a bad. Hudson's had maybe a bad experience. I've never had a bad experience at Culver's.
But you're saying
I've
with
had and Mom, we were supposed to be good, good with our money and so that not waste our money. But I think that that's a waste to go and buy fish. That's my opinion.
At a burger joint.
At a burger joint at Culver's.
Differing opinions.
Differing
on wasting
opinions.
money. Yeah.
But anyway, I like their burgers. I like their chicken tenders, and I've even had their Reubens before a couple times, and their Reubens are good. I mean, I don't think they're as maybe good as
upstairs,
maybe
downstairs.
some other places that you could have that are more.
Reuben's sandwiches.
Yeah, but they're still good. I just haven't had I haven't had something like I don't know if I'm gonna try that again.
If you go to North Carolina with me again,
When?
we got to go when you do. We got to go to. We can go to Midwood. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I had a city barbecue. That was unbelievable.
Did you go twice to that?
City barbecue?
Twice, didn't you?
No, I
what
went
was
to
that?
City Barbecue and they had a pulled brisket sandwich, and I just couldn't believe how good it was.
Maybe I'll go with you guys this time, and I'll downplay how good Midwood Smoke is and see how.
Yeah, it's possible that you wouldn't.
No, I'm sure.
I mean, I
To
think
each his
Damon
own.
didn't eat some of the. He didn't care for the hush puppies or whatever.
Yeah, he's a Southern boy.
Yeah, we were kind of giving him grief because here he's from
From
Louisiana
Louisiana.
originally.
Hush
and he's-
puppies, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, to each their own.
All right, Joe.
Yep.
I'm
So
sorry.
I will spin
Going on
again,
to
but
catch
let
up.
us know in the comments what your
Oh, you
Favorite.
were spinning already? Like when we were
Joe,
talking?
stop.
You
No,
spin
he
again?
spin. No, he spun.
He spin.
So I'm gonna
I'll
spin again.
spin. I'll spin the wheel again.
Hey,
Oh,
what, if
okay.
you, what if you
It's
get a
not
3
spin,
again?
It's spun, isn't
It's
it?
spun.
spun.
Yeah, it's spun.
But I'll spun again.
It's spun. No, he'll spin again.
No,
Okay.
but you said I didn't already spin.
Okay. So let us know what your favorite restaurant is.
Yeah.
Have you been drinking water? It looks like you got water on your
I think
lips.
either that or
No,
chaps.
I've got chapped lips.
He puts so much on.
I got gas.
He puts
gasoline.
Vaseline on.
I thought
Sometimes
you
he comes out. Sometimes
It looks like Stickum.
Sometimes he comes out in the morning and it's like all the way up to his schnoz.
He doesn't
Wants to make
discriminate.
sure.
It's on
Make
his
sure your
chin.
mustache doesn't get.
I thought when you were doing
chapped.
that analogy, you were going to say it's like having a cow and not milking.
Yeah,
it.
No,
You were
that,
gonna
wouldn't,
give
that
one of your-
analogy wouldn't fit.
I know.
Yeah, but
That doesn't-
sometimes
It never
I only
usually
use
does.
analogies that fit.
All right, next one.
All
Joe.
right, so let us know.
What if you?
Here we
Wait,
go.
wait. What if you get a 3 again? Is that
Then
the same
he's got another
I've got
question.
other questions.
Yeah,
Just
easy,
relax.
Easy.
4.
You
Four.
didn't get a 4. You lied.
It's right in between.
3. I can see it from here.
It's in between.
Here it is. Number 4.
don't down-
Best musical group you've ever been a part of. Best musical
I've been a
group
part of.
you've ever been a part of. It might be a band. It might be a singing group.
yeah.
It might be.
Oh, okay.
It might be
I'm gonna say
Hudson
it.
and I.
No.
It's mine. It's mine first. Mine
Yeah,
first.
it's Joe.
I think that
Make sure you're up to the mic.
I
please.
definitely think that it was something that I treasured a lot. And just with the accumulation of us building over the years, I feel like our 5th grade choir that we had when we had our school Christmas concert with the whole class.
Yeah.
That was top
was the
notch. That
pinnacle?
was
Were
we
you
had
right
gone
here?
from kindergarten and built on each year
Oh.
and achieved our goals each year, and then topped it off with Miss Gravin.
Miss who?
Miss Gravin.
Gravin.
Oh, almost sounded like you missed the rest of her name.
You
No.
just stopped. Grab.
I thought you said Miss Grabbin.
No, Miss Gravin.
Gravin.
Yep.
Okay.
Fanny was her name. Grabbing.
Yeah, but
That brought out the best in
Was
me.
that the 5th grade Christmas concert that you sang Feliz Navidad?
Probably.
Remember
But that
you
was
said
well,
that
actually
was,
no, that was Mitch loving it.
Yeah,
Loving
that was
it.
loving it.
Oh,
but-
what grade was that?
That he I think he left in like 4th grade.
Oh well, he wasn't in 4th.
He left
grade.
on a high note.
Yeah, no. He didn't. He was not in 4th grade. He was older.
Wow.
But
Oh, he went to college at such
Yes,
a young age.
uh-huh.
Well, he's a smart guy.
Well, he
There
was
was
teaching.
He was a student
People that were
teacher.
young, it was very tough. He was teaching people
We
younger
got
than
no
him.
4th grade teacher, Mitch.
But he was-
That's probably why I had to leave.
yeah, they found out
They
he
found
wasn't
out he's
old
in
enough.
4th grade.
He's retired and he'd only be in like 8th grade.
Grade, yeah.
So anyway, that was the best. That I peaked at in 5th grade
We all
singing
did.
wise.
We all did.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joseph.
I would probably say that you said musical group.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You can adapt it if you need to.
Sure.
I wouldn't want it to be a sports group. Or,
Yeah. Well, I haven't been made too many great ones there. I would probably say, it's probably like pep bands, like in high school, because I think like your senior year, my freshman year, we had quite a few people in the band, which, for most high school bands, more people typically means you're going to get a little better quality, better sound. So I would probably say the bands that I was in high school, multiple bands that I was in. Just the high school band.
What year specifically was there
I don't
one
know.
that you were really good at?
Maybe freshman or sophomore year, we had some. I remember the pep bands being pretty good. We had quite a bit of participation. Now at the Heights, they have like nobody. They have to get the middle schoolers to come and play with them,
or alumni.
Or alumni.
You guys were just banging the drum.
Yeah.
You want to bang on your drum all day.
Right. I'd probably say that because I've never been in any musical groups. So it should have been, sounds like.
Well, the ability you had on the Feliz Navidad singing so high.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I could have easily been a backup singer.
You might become part of a band, so we might be watching
the
this
guy
and
from
become,
Journey. You could have switched off and on.
Maybe
Steve Perry.
if Track's out of town, since Mike Forkel's retired, maybe you'd come in.
Listen, I mean, if people know Track's out of town, they want to resurrect it.
Let's start a partition so that Drew can be the next singer.
Yeah.
So I was known growing up, and this would be no surprise for some people who knew me growing up. I wasn't really too much known as a musician, though I played the tuba all the way through high school. I was coerced into. I was a decent singer, and I was coerced into singing my senior year in choir. They wanted me to sing in choir. Guess who won most valuable singer that year?
You did.
I did.
Were you most improved too?
Well,
Wait, so
probably. I
this
just think it
became
was just. I think they probably had it right at the beginning. If I went out, that they would give it to me, but not because
were
I
you
was
the best
super
singer?
good.
You think out of everybody there? Maybe.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But I don't know why. I think there was a gift. Anyway, I went to a college then that featured music, and there were music majors there, which I was not. I was a communications major. And my brother said, why don't you try out for a summer music group? We would go and sing at churches and other locations, and we were going to travel for 9 weeks. And so I tried out, and I got in one of those groups. And we practiced. I think we had to come back from summer vacation. We went home for a couple of weeks, and then we had to come back. And we practiced for 2 weeks straight. I mean, for several hours, more than that, almost all day, songs. And so it was a pretty high level. It was honestly more serious than I wanted to be, music wise. It was. I bit off a little more than I should have. But anyway, I traveled in that group and sang bass for 9 weeks, and then all the way into the fall, we represented the school. So that was probably my biggest.
After the
musical.
9 weeks, what did you sing? So for the 9 weeks, you sang bass. After that, what did you sing?
I sang 9 weeks bass, and then in the fall, I sang bass
Bass again.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It was 9 weeks for the summer tour.
Oh, okay.
And then we in the fall all the way till the next semester, till the second semester
Continued
started.
singing bass.
Yep.
So my sophomore year of high school and my junior year, so I think that's 02 and 04, I was chosen, I believe, by default both times because I wasn't great at the baritone, but they wanted somebody to go. And I don't think that the other person wanted to go both years. So I got to be a part of honors band.
Honors band, yeah.
And that's where people from the Capital Conference would get together at one location. My sophomore year, it was at Heights. So everybody that got chosen from our conference came, and we practiced for the whole day a few pieces. I think we got the music a little ahead of time so you could practice a few days or weeks in advance. But then we would just was pretty intense, if you would, just practicing the whole day. And at the end of the day, we had a concert. And not because of me, definitely not, but to hear people to be a part of people that cared about band and to hear them play
good at it.
more
Really,
so that
really
we're
good
good
at
at
it,
it
yeah.
for high schoolers.
Yeah.
It was fun to be a part
Yeah.
of something that was, because we were fine in high school, but these people were all the best, if you will, the best of the best.
Like the
in
best basketball
conference.
players on your basketball team.
I was not a part of it. It was more a default thing. I was fine, but
Yeah.
Did you ever kind of drop out every once in a while and
I
just
think
kind
I
of
dropped
listen
out.
and
Not on
enjoy
purpose.
it?
Yeah,
just
just
enjoy
take it
it.
on.
John was playing like this.
Yeah.
But I've heard people who went on, especially to college, like a few people who played at the UW, and they went in the marching band where they're really serious, and everybody's best player, musician, gets on there. It's like the university basketball team. You know, you don't just have some schleps there. You've got the best of the best, and the same in music. And that's kind of a high school version where people that really care about it and are really good. That's kind of fun to be a part of something like that.
Yep. Yeah, they cared a lot because I was sitting next to a tuba player, and I don't remember what his name was and where he was from even, but I accidentally hit his tuba a few times with my baritone picking it up, and it was well, when you're picking it up, and I'm not saying that makes it any better, but it was his baritone. Like, it wasn't like mine was just a rental. I was just paying a certain amount every
His
year.
tuba, and that's not.
That's like me having somebody
Yeah.
scuff up my really nice basketball shoes or something like that who didn't understand that. Maybe it's not even on that level because it's not the same price.
$1,700
But
basketball shoe.
so it wasn't a good thing. I'm not proud of that I did that because I was a little careless. But that being said, I could just see I hadn't been around people that cared that much. and he wasn't appreciative of it.
And that own their own instrument,
Yeah,
especially
I was just
when
like, no, you buy those?
Tubas especially are so expensive
Yeah.
that most of the time the school buys them, and if you play the tuba, then you just play a school tuba.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, husband.
Well, I was gonna say the original father-son voiceover podcast choir, Feliz Navidad, but this is a little bit of a two-parter. This is went from the lowest.
Do we
of
need another
lows.
segment for this?
No, I think I'll just skim over it because it's not that. It wasn't. I had to go through it. You guys had to go through it. It wasn't fun. My freshman year, I was forced kind of to do a.
It looked like it.
I didn't want to do it. I had to play with 4 mallets. I was in the percussion, and I didn't want to do that, and so I didn't practice that hard. And you're in front of for solo and ensemble, you're in front of a judge all by yourself,
Live audience.
and 15, 20 other people watching you in a classroom, and you're the only one playing. It didn't go well. It was bad. Next year, though, sophomore year, I found a piece I liked,
2 mallets.
practiced it, 2 mallets.
Something you're comfortable, confident.
I thought it was about
okay.
is this about a band?
That's why I was wondering too. It's best musical group. So this is a musical group of one. So this is.
I've never been part of a group.
No, he's good. He's good. He's talking about his mallets he used. He used multiple
1, 2,
mallets.
3, 4.
I wasn't going to be picky because
can I finish?
I
You
really
can.
like
I just
that.
wanted to
I
know
really
if it was like a group or if it was
What about
about you.
honors band?
Well, that's a
John
group.
was picked to go to honors band.
That's a group.
High and mighty.
That's a group.
Wait, well, just finish your story.
I can't.
Well, yeah,
Mr.
Well,
Honors Band over here.
Listen.
I just had an honest question.
John, the group was me, myself, and I.
We've only got a couple minutes.
Okay, but
I
here
gotta go.
quickly, you won that, and you
Yeah,
got
that's great.
a 1st
I'll
place.
finish. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I got a perfect score.
Yep, I remember that.
At,
I don't
at-
look- I- not
I got
that
a
I don't
perfect
think-
score at regular solo and ensemble. Got to go to state. Got a perfect score at state.
Yep. Boom.
Got an exemplary soloist award, and they asked me to go play like overseas, which I was like, no way, because all I did was
there at least
all
a
I
band
did,
there?
or something like that. I can't just play something big.
That
which
would
I
seem
was
like it
like
would be a big
I
difference.
memorized the
Overseas
piece.
and
I
go
was really
play-
good at memorization, so I didn't read the music. I just memorized
Yeah.
it,
That's
and so then
amazing.
Now
anyway.
you got the
I was
the
not
band.
putting down what you did at all. I just
what
was
you
saying. I was
described
just
there was
asking
history.
the question about.
We can't.
Is there a group that you had been a part of, and that was more what the
I was a
question
part
was
of band
about.
as well, but
Yeah, I
that was
didn't
my
know for
greatest
sure.
achievement.
Got it.
Musical
So,
achievement. I
yeah.
should have said that. That
Okay.
probably would have been better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're fine with that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good with that.
Well,
Yeah.
we
That was a great story.
Thank you.
Seriously,
Glad you liked it.
from the depths to the highest of highs.
From the goat to the goat.
Yep.
Greatest of
The
all
worst to the MVP they were chanting. Anyway, thanks, Joe, for doing that. You'll probably see that again.
Yeah.
Remember to give us ideas.
Next up, we're gonna do some more talking about me.
What do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about me. You want to know about me?
I like
That's my favorite.
What a silky segue.
I was gonna say, that's a great segue.
So, thank you, and we'll see you right after this.
All right. So we're back. We're back in the high life again. This old Steve Winwood song. When did he do this? Probably in the 80s, I would think. Steve Winwood, Back in the High Life. And so this is the 38th episode of the original Father-Son voiceover podcast. We're going to share something in a few moments. Hudson is purchased something that has to do with his business. So we'll think about that, all right?
Sure. But just
Sing it,
let
Hud.
Steve Winwood.
Winwood.
All the doors that once one time will open up again.
Sing it high.
I'll be back in the high life again. All the eyes that watched me once will smile and take me in. Woo! Okay.
This is a song that we used to get played 2008, my baseball season. Was it when we would lose? You would play
No.
When we would win.
No, which was a lot. Can you fade that down just a little bit?
Yeah.
I did the PA for Heights basketball and baseball. I started when Jonathan was like a freshman, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, because it was at Black Earth and I was up in the booth up there. And so I would do that. And I think it wasn't your year, but I think it was maybe your senior year. We started playing it. And then I played it after every win. And when Hudson got into school, it was almost every game we played it, which was kind of fun.
I remember what our record was, but I think we lost 4 games my senior year.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. We were back in the high life.
Yep. Yeah, I just remember having this after baseball games, and we'd be cleaning up the bases and everything, and it always feel good to have this going.
Yep.
We were in the high life at that point because we had won.
Yes, exactly.
So the very next game, we're hoping to be back there.
Right. And just like folks are with the original Father-Son voiceover podcast.
Yeah.
Back in the high life again.
Yeah.
And Hudson's in the high life again because he is
I'm right here.
no longer he's very excited.
So do you have the sound back on? You killed it, I know, there at the end, which is fine.
captured
but
it. Who
killed the
You can
music?
turn it all the way up because that's where I have this set up so that it's pretty loud, so it comes through the microphones nice and so
And
you
so-
can turn it all the way up.
Do you want to set it up, Hudson, or do you want
Whatever's fine. We can set whatever up.
Well, this is it's in our name, the original Father-Son voiceover podcast.
Yeah.
And it's kind of warped over the last 6 months or so. We used to do a lot related to voiceover, but now we do a lot more local and family-centered. But we still are kind of a voiceover family. The boys own a voiceover marketing business. I've done voiceover for 13 years. Hudson does it now for 2 years.
And then radio before that.
The radio before that. Jonathan helps me with my Fiverr account, some marketing and platform stuff. And Drew used to edit for me. Mom edits for me. Deshaun's edited for me. Damon does some stuff for the businesses. And so we're just talking a little business today, and I hope you enjoy learning a little bit more about voiceover.
A little shop.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
doing a little shop talk. It's a real good work joke. We'll probably have some good work jokes.
Yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
maybe.
So I been looking on Facebook Marketplace. I was thinking about buying a new WhisperRoom. Did we talk about that?
Well, what is
Did
a
I just-
whisper? Maybe what is a whisper
Yeah, I
room?
bought a WhisperRoom.
But what is that? I mean, what for people that don't know anything
It's
about
a
voiceover?
professional sound studio.
Yeah.
It's a box.
with a door. Mine has a door and a window.
That's a pretty nice box.
Yeah,
It is a nice
soundproofing box.
Yeah.
It's an expensive box.
But before that, I had made my own hobo fort, own studio. And so what we do, Joe, is I upgraded. So I'm almost 2 years into voiceover, and I did a little video.
Well, this has been my setup for almost 2 years, about 1 year and 8 months.
That's my hobo fort.
It's a little dark in here, but all my stuff's in there. You can't really see it. And
Oh, Jersey.
Yeah, it was right before basketball.
Oh, wow.
Jersey Mike's.
12th, I picked up a WhisperRoom. So I will show you another video later.
Oh, okay. Get that out. Make sure you have that out.
Cold season. Go ahead, George.
Oh.
Anyway, I had
That's
created.
Smoking Joe's.
Yeah, Smoking Jay.
I had
It's perfect.
tough.
Go ahead. You keep filling us in on
so
this.
I
It's exciting.
at that point I had for about 1 year and 8-9 months had my hobo fort.
Yeah.
In your closet
Yeah,
with like these blankets.
How long do you think you had that drainage?
it was quick. That was it. It was right
So,
there. That was
seems like
done.
you
had
get rid of it.
you had it for 1 year and 8 months, and what happened to the remaining months?
I've only been in voiceover for 1 year and 8 months.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Next question.
Joe.
I thought he was in it for 2 years because he's always rounding up on here. So he's
I said I've almost been in voiceover for 2 years. So,
okay.
So I just had my clothes and stuff like that. I had used that up on the sides, and
Sound dampening.
it was, yeah. So, yeah. Got
And it
that.
works
I
well.
figured
And
I'd
you made money in there
Yeah, I
and
had
got
no
jobs.
complaints
and-
about
Yep.
my sound quality.
Yeah.
So then on, what was it, Monday the 12th
of December.
of
Yep.
December, I asked Damon, I said, hey, I'm buying a WhisperRoom. You want to come with me? We had to go all the way to Chanhassen, which is close to Minneapolis,
Minnesota.
Minnesota. So I got a U-Haul from our local hardware store, and that was a beast driving. It's kind of scary going 70 miles an hour, but I did it. So on
Through town?
What?
Through town?
Just
Through
everywhere.
town. Didn't matter what the speed limit was. I was going 70.
Wow.
70 right into our driveway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mom took a video of
Just one step too far.
Well, you could have gone down
get
the alleyway.
a dumb
at 70.
question, you get a dumb response.
70 miles an hour on that alleyway.
That's true.
Yeah, we
have
have,
it
we
for-
have people to do that.
We do have people do that. And then next is you can do the
Before trip?
Before trip, yeah. That's Mom got that. We won't play the whole thing. Okay. But
Anything about dying. Anything about death. All right, folks. We're off to see the wizard.
Geese.
we'll
Don't
have,
look up.
I'll have Damon play these too if they don't look the greatest on the screen. Damon will put them up right in front of us, and
Oh, there's a long video of you guys leaving.
Mom did it in slow motion. So it was, Dad was so I had to fix it.
She started it.
Yeah, starting the truck, baby. Eastbound and down. So
Nice
yeah,
that you got the fuel
Keep
saver
going, keep
chassis.
going because I think you say something here, don't you?
Oh, roll down the window.
People are enamored with this. They want to
If they
watch
can
the
see you.
They're
U-Haul.
eating
They
this
haven't
up.
seen a U-Haul.
We're not
before.
sponsored by U-Haul, just so everybody's
Yeah,
aware.
yeah.
that's
Maybe you
true.
have to blur that
Yeah, I
out
might
or
have to.
something. Do you really?
I don't know.
I don't think
I
so.
doubt it.
I don't think
Not
the
something as
tens and
small
tens
as
of
our-
people are going
Nobody's
to
gonna
record
call
us
us
or
out.
anything.
Wow, most of this is
Okay.
very uninteresting.
That's why I said we would have to watch the whole thing.
Well,
so
Mom,
was gonna
tough,
leave.
tough.
remember when you leave?
Oh, Damon's getting out.
We're grabbing a charger.
Oh, he's ready.
Hey, when you pull out, don't hit your.
I guess we will play that for everybody. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll-
this is good stuff. This
Does
is
that
good
say Mom's
content.
Attic on there?
Airbags
Does that say Mom's Attic on there?
I don't know.
Oh, we started it up again.
No, that's the Trailblazer.
Oh,
Sounds like it's got a bigger engine than the U-Haul.
There's a airport right next to us. That's what it sounds like.
Well,
Wow, that is loud.
You can stop it now. We'll have Damon play it for us on there
Okay.
as well.
Because I think when you
I'd
leave,
like
you
to
say
hear the
something, don't you?
Trailblazer run.
Didn't you say, let me see?
Did I really? Is that right there? Oh, I might have deleted that one. I didn't watch all of it
Because I said to watch
long.
Be Very Careful While You Drive, and you said, let me
see. So then, I guess there's the during trip. This was just a fun little thing I did with Damon.
Ooh,
Oh, this will be fun.
He didn't.
On the road again. I can't wait.
He's happy.
He's not buying that.
Wait a second. Hudson
Do it again.
Wait
He's
a
with,
second.
he said he did it with Damon.
This is a fun thing I
That's
did.
him doing stuff with
Damon's
people.
sitting there like,
Hey, I did. He added
What's Damon?
Yeah. Damon, he said Damon was having fun.
Damon couldn't wait to get out.
I'm
He said
sorry.
Damon was having fun.
I guess I
Projecting all over people.
Damon was gauging how far down that
Ravine
water
we're gonna
was. He's
go.
gonna jump out.
I mean, Damon, let's be honest. I mean, he's a saint.
Yeah, he was
because
happy.
A,
Yeah, he
he
was
was
happy
willing to go and
later.
miss his day of work, which put him behind, and then he spent the whole day with Hares Brando.
It seemed like he was having fun. I was having fun.
Well,
that's
you
all.
stopped at Quick Trip twice, I think.
We
did
sure
you?
did. Yeah.
Wow.
And the Quick Trip in
I heard.
Black River Falls
Yeah.
has a dining area.
No.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was illegal. For
Is
Quick
it kind
Trips.
of? Is it kind of like a truck stop area?
It's,
Is that what
it's
that?
a big. It's
Wouldn't
the,
that,
the biggest Quick Trip I've seen.
Wouldn't that mess up their name though?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Pit stop.
It's going against their. It's going
Yeah.
against their
I guess.
name.
Well, I think when you don't spell quick right, you can. You don't have to be.
Was that they didn't have any when you were going to college up there, Big John? Did you, Big John, go to college?
You mean Quick Trips?
When you went
Yeah,
to state.
on
I mean,
the
they
way.
had Quick Trips, but
Huh?
they had Quick Trips.
And they
Yeah,
were-
but they
Stop.
didn't have the one in Black River Falls.
I don't remember. That's like from our house to where I went to college is almost exactly halfway. Black River Falls.
It is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you remember the one in Cross Plains. That's how a lot of them were built.
Yeah,
So they were
yeah.
kind of small
Yeah.
and, I mean, they were
Quaint,
okay,
kinda quaint
but
looking.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they've really stepped it
now
up.
they're like castles.
Like the one in Black Earth, it's like just seems so friendly and warm. You just
But they're still not Buc-ee's.
well,
That's
I
hard.
don't
to
even like to put them
compare.
in the same sentence.
That's true. All right, then next we've got. Anyway, I got a great deal on this. The guy was a really nice guy. His name was Derek, and he ran a junk removal service in Minnesota. And
this is
somebody,
anything but junk, though.
yeah, he said somebody asked him to come get rid of it, and he said he didn't know anything about it, so he thought put this on Facebook Marketplace and see what people will do. And
I'm really glad that now we can say it was a great deal
okay.
because when we were getting it all together, I was a little bit nervous that maybe not all the pieces were there. So, but now that you have it up and it works fine,
I have a lot
would
of faith
agree.
in Derek.
But he shrink wrapped it. He took
Yeah.
pictures.
Yeah.
He was right up front the whole time. But it is kind of scary, especially
is.
for my
Yeah, I
generation,
agree.
to buy something. Hey, Tim Wick, who was a guest on our podcast, he just bought a car from I think Ohio.
Oh wow.
Just online. I know people do that all the time, but for
It doesn't feel
people
right.
like me, it's hard to
OH.
Oh no.
it doesn't kind of set right.
Yeah.
For some
Anyway,
reason.
to
I don't
finish what I was gonna say, I got it for it was at like a medical place. They used it for like hearing tests and stuff like that. So it was on Facebook Marketplace for 2 minutes. He said.
What
And
was
I-
it used for?
Thanks, Joe. I used it for medical. It was used for medical hearing things. He's making a joke.
Well, he
A
can't
joke.
hear, okay.
And so I got a hold of him right away, and we asked him some questions, and then I went up and grabbed it with Demond, $2,500.
And he didn't even know because he looked it up and some of them, the bigger ones like that, go for $6,000-$7,000.
Yeah, and he was willing to not have me spend that much, which
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Because he could have gotten that much for it. At least $5,000 he could have gotten.
I think
for
it was in mint condition.
It's in really good condition, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I picked it up and I didn't do many videos while we were there. We were in Minneapolis we were at that place for about 10 minutes. We picked it up, and then turned right around and got going. And then you can go to the one where it says
Made it home?
We made it home. Yeah. And you can go like halfway-ish if you want. Here we go.
Did you
That's a lot of. That's a
Did
lot
you
of
carry
traveling.
the U-Haul?
8 hours of driving.
Made it back in one piece. Thanks for taking the cars out. Yeah. So 8 hours of driving straight. That's probably the most I've done by myself.
Oh, you went by yourself.
With
Driving
the
by
mom.
myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We didn't pass off
Yeah.
duties.
He couldn't anyway, could he?
I don't know if he could or
You have
not.
to be 26 to drive one of those?
I think you have
I mean,
to
you have
be,
to do
you
it
have to
with
be
25
older.
probably.
Rental cars you have to. I would think
25
that's a
you have
rental
to be.
vehicle.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
No.
And like I said, I'll have Damon play these on the screen in front of us.
The big
because
screen.
That'll be better for hearing purposes and stuff like that. So then let's go to helping out. We got all sorts. I had so much help. I had all these guys. This is where Dad hurts his hand.
That's where I scraped my hand. See, I didn't even flinch.
You didn't even
You
have
were
proper
on
working
camera.
material.
Yeah, I was crying
working,
inside.
Boots on there.
You're
Dad.
like Tom Cruise.
See,
He
it's right-
busts his,
It's right here.
busts his ankle.
You didn't see this, but this was a hard hat zone. We had that sign up.
Demand, so nice, helpful. It's heavy. It's really heavy
Awkward.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
What is it? Is it? It's about 7 feet by 5 feet.
Yeah, I think so.
by almost 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
So, and then during the setup, we had our neighbor Bob Wick came over,
Yeah.
helped Dad set up his, and
Father of
helped-
Tim Wick,
Yes.
Bob's running the screwdriver.
like a boss.
Damon's over here holding the frame. Drew's holding the window.
I didn't strip a single
Our friend Bob Wick is here,
thing.
running the operation because
Tim Wick's
don't know
dad,
what we're doing chemically.
Bob Wick.
Yep. Engineer, architecture, manager,
Finished product.
smart.
Yeah. So there's that, and then the last one is just me kind of doing a little bit of a walkthrough of it.
Oh, nice.
When it was set up.
Set up.
Yep.
So for now, here is the finished product. So you can see it. Excuse the messy room. There's not a lot of room in here, but
That is
here's
so
the
nice.
WhisperRoom picked up. Go and walk in.
Almost
Show
looked like you had
little-
your bed in there.
It's not yet
the
finished.
glass.
Got some soundproofing going on. Had to put one of my moving blankets here to help the sound. So then you're in here. And yeah.
That's
there
where the
it is.
magic happens.
Not completely done yet, but it's exciting.
That was a blanket I bought for you for
Yeah, LA
Christmas.
Kings.
Yep.
The,
That was
Probably the
was.
best present I've
NHL.
gotten him.
That's true.
Your
Notice
room.
how I didn't
How
throw
much-
it away?
How much money is he
Maybe
made
that's
off
why
of
you
that
know it was a
blanket?
good present.
Yeah, but I bought him a sweatshirt with my
That's what I'm
hard-earned
saying.
money, and he threw it away. Not even 6 months
I
down the
didn't, I didn't
road,
throw it away. I gave it away, which is a big difference.
which is
Big
worse.
difference.
I
There's
would
charity-
have rather
there's
you
charity
thrown it
involved.
away than
He was
I gave it
away.
to somebody in
regifting a
need.
gift.
A needy
I think
soul.
you gave it to me.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
you were in need.
that's like presents you used to give.
That's true.
You give the
Buying-
cat pistol and
Yeah,
things like that for your 18-year-old brother.
Yeah, that's tough.
That was a tough Christmas.
it wasn't my fault.
Well,
That was that was a pretty big project though. We've been talking about getting a whisper room for months and months, and then you looked off and on. Mom would watch for you and
Yeah.
show you some different ones, and it's just not easy to know what you should pay and how far you should go, and that's a ways to go. I picked mine up in Iowa City.
Yep.
From a young man that was doing music in his, but
named
he wa-
Hudson.
Yeah, right. And he was going to graduate school, I think, and just needed money. So he was selling his, and that was 12, almost 13 years ago.
Yeah.
To me, it was when I thought that when I found out I was going to have to go and get it, which I figured that was going to be the case. Getting it for $2,500, it didn't matter to me. I was like, I'm going to get this because I wants it. I wanted to have a whisper room, and I thought that was probably the best deal I was going to get. And it has ended up being probably the best deal other than getting a brand new one, but only spending $2,500 on it.
Now remember,
So
this is your
driving 4 hours to Minneapolis and back and renting a U-Haul and going to that trouble.
What were you all in on that?
Oh, $3,100,
Yeah.
which was what I had made that week.
Perfect.
Just as a reminder, not a brag,
Let's
but just
remind everybody that.
it ended up coming out very close to the same amount, which
Yeah.
was awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
very close. Anyway, it's an investment in myself.
Now,
So,
when you went to this guy's house.
Not his house. It was at the place that he had taken it apart from, and it was sitting in
Was
there.
he at the junkyard?
Yeah.
Did he have any dogs?
His name was
That was
Leroy
coming.
Brown.
Junkyard dogs.
Yeah.
When you
Knew
got
it was
there,
coming.
did you say, all right, $2,500? And he said, well, I guess.
No,
I said,
I
this is
actually-
your deal.
This is gonna sound like not that much of a deal, but when I saw that they were shrink wrapped, I gave him an extra $100. We had agreed on $2,400.
Wow, generous.
And he's probably like, "Why did you give me $100? That doesn't even come close." But anyway,
To the
it
shrink
was a
wrap?
thought that counts.
Was it when you gave him
Counts.
the handshake? Did you have it right there?
Mm.
That's what I would have
I
done.
gave him a hug and I put it in his pocket.
Given it right
when
there, and I said,
In his
Keep
back
it.
I said,
pocket.
"Sorry, we couldn't make
"Don't,
a deal."
hey, don't look at that until I'm gone."
You're a chip off the old block because that's
You
what I
sold-
always do.
yeah.
I sell vehicles and then
Pay for
give
their
them money
lunch.
for gasoline
Or lunch, yeah.
or lunch. Yeah. Because I'm just not a very good salesperson. I tell people everything that's wrong with the vehicle because I just don't like selling things, especially old vehicles.
You don't want to be a swindler.
No, I don't want to be thought of that way. And I don't want them to come back and haunt me, sometime because they felt like I ripped them off.
Yeah.
But that was,
But I think you sold to Manny Brow. I think you just sold that straight up, didn't you? That might have been my favorite vehicle.
I think I did because I felt a lot of peer pressure from you guys that I'd sold a couple of other things and you guys would tease me. So
Gave away the farm.
Yeah. So I said, nope, sticking straight, not going to. And you guys didn't really dicker at all. Not much. I mean,
Not much. I asked, I was looking for a deal and didn't want to spend more than,
$3,500.
$3,500, I think. And he said, yeah, that sounds fine to me. Real nice, helpful guy. And I said, what about, I think I said maybe 2,300, I think I said. And he said, how about 26? And I said, sure. Just because I don't like to get into that stuff. It's just like, that's already a deal.
Yeah,
I'm good.
right.
And he said, since you're having to drive here and rent a U-Haul, 2,400. So.
Oh,
and
then
then
you
I
called
said-
this is prior to you getting there.
Mm-hmm.
You called him
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I went back and forth on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. He was real responsive. And the nice thing about a whisper room is, unless it, you have water damage or something,
I'll keep it for
You'll
the
have
rest
it
of my
the
life
rest
if
of your
I-
life.
Yep.
Your career
My
anyway,
career.
Well,
voiceover.
and, yours you've had for I don't know how many years, 8 years?
12 years.
12 years.
Mhm.
Yours, it doesn't seem like it would depreciate at all because it's the same thing that you
Yeah.
bought. It's not like you're kind of banging around.
No, and it's
in
not sitting
there or-
outside getting weather beaten or anything.
Yeah.
It's just sitting there in your house, temperature controlled. It's not wet, so it should be just fine.
Yeah, you could go and sell. What'd you buy yours for? $4,000?
3,000.
3,000. Man.
Yeah. So
Mine's like another foot and a half.
But you had to
bigger.
drive down and you had to rent a whatchamacallit, right?
U-Haul.
No,
A big
a
enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
So you were probably in about the same as Hudson was.
Yeah, probably was.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
and so he got a really good deal. Not that you want necessarily bigger isn't necessarily better.
Yeah.
Depends on the
That's
type
why I
of
have
thing
that
that you want to
blanket in
use.
there. 'Cause I
Yeah,
tried
right.
to-
You're trying to get as much soundproofing in there as possible, and if you're not going to have multiple musicians or whatever, or voiceover talent, but that's you got a good deal. I think.
did. Yep, and I've
Felt
already
good
done
about the
some
whole
jobs
thing.
in it, and it's really nice.
Making you
'Cause-
money.
Thank
I
you,
have.
Derek.
Have you had to do sound checks and stuff in there to make sure that it
Mic check 1, 2.
sounds the exact same?
So that's what Dad and I worked on that before I had done any jobs. We made sure that it sounded exactly, at least as good as what it had sounded like in my hobo fort.
Okay. You didn't get anybody involved in that because you had Alex DeWeese the first time, right?
That was the first time for my hobo fort. Yep.
I just didn't know if you had to
and-
check it again.
I'm
Well,
going
no,
to.
he was
I'm going to
yeah,
at some
yeah.
point
Well,
because I'm
what
going.
go ahead.
I'm going to get a new microphone and stuff like
Hmm.
that set up. So I will have to get a new noise floor and have different effects put through it.
Yeah.
So
But for right now, all we were doing was just trying to match the sound quality in the booth with the microphone that he had. And since we could match it, then he just is using his older microphone. Once he gets a new microphone, a more sensitive microphone, and that microphone is, hot, and there's presence there,
like these are. Yep.
yeah, then he's going to need to have new presets for his processing for his microphone. It's all real technical.
Sounds technical.
Yeah.
It's above me.
We're getting deep into the weeds now.
Yeah. Well, that's about all we'll do for my Whisper Room. For me, it's exciting, and for the people in voiceover who have gotten Whisper Rooms, it's an exciting experience.
Huge shout out to Bob Wick, though.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Without whom we would be still working on it.
We'd have the door.
We would
still
not
in
have
the same
time to do
place.
this because, I think we could. We figured out how to do yours, and I think eventually we'd do it. But I remember sitting there pre-Bob, and I was thinking, I think I'm going to have to get involved, and I don't know if I want to get involved.
You mean for this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my brain was a little bit shot from work because, talk about stressful jobs.
Oh.
One of the most stressful jobs.
I don't know of anybody that works harder than you.
Well, good luck finding
That's what happens when you work 8 hours a day.
But
it's tough.
Exactly. Well, sometimes 8.5. I sometimes want to take a lunch.
Did you put that down in your overtime?
Yeah.
He's
I don't have
salary.
overtime and salary.
Oh, sorry.
He's a big salary guy.
Yeah. But anyway, pre-Bob, I was nervous.
Post-Bob.
Post-Bob.
During
static.
During Bob, not a concern a bit. Not concerned a bit.
No. Well, here's the thing. Just a real quick backstory. I won't go long.
Well, we're okay because you started that early and didn't restart it.
Oh, okay.
There's the starter pistol.
We've got less than 5 minutes.
Okay.
Just a little less.
More like
Okay.
4.
So I called over because we were working with Bob on how heavy this was and whether it's going to be on the second floor.
Right.
Are we just going to cave in? We didn't want that to
Because
happen.
this is a Wick home.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why you
right.
would know.
Yeah. So we talked to Bob about that, and so when we pulled in the driveway with the Whisper Room, I thought, well, Bob might want to come and see it, and maybe he can kind of look at the panels and see how heavy they are, and see if we should put it up in Hudson's room. And so he said, I'd like to, but he said we're having my grandson's birthday party, and I said, well, no problem. So he said, but it should be
You can
just
always
fine.
reschedule that party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what you said.
no,
Sounds like
I mean,
priorities.
it was right toward the end anyway. Well, then he called me half an hour later and said, well, the party broke up a little bit earlier. I'm coming over. And then he was right there.
We had it done that night.
Yep.
Monday night. So, yeah.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Bob.
Bob.
Thanks,
I
Derek.
don't know what you have planned for next. I know you've got next. So,
Yeah.
Right after
it'd be
this.
an absolute surprise.
Surprise.
Maybe
all
you
right,
got
well,
now.
Keep people
come back
into
and
suspense.
find out what Drew's got for us.
Keeping the highlight.
Because this is,
Yeah.
I mean, we're right in between Christmas and New Year's right now. So,
Wow.
yeah. See what I did there?
So,
Right in
Merry,
betwixt
Merry,
the two.
Merry Chrysler to people that have been
Merry
celebrating it.
Prizes.
And then a Happy New Year. A happiest New Year. Happy holidays as well, just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Covered all our bases there.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we'll be back with whatever Drew's got for us. I know I say that a lot, but Drew likes to surprise us, as we said. So
Big
come
time.
back if you want to see that. Hello, everybody. I'm out ice fishing on a pond, trying to catch a fish that is on my fish marker, but he won't bite. Anyway, it is snowing. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it. And you are watching the original Father-Son Voiceover Podcast.
I can honestly say that I'm glad that Hudson has his Whisper Room. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of work. I mean, it wasn't a lot of work for me.
But it was good work.
It was a lot of work for Hudson and Demond.
And Bob.
But you could tell Demond was having a good time in the car.
You know why?
They were singing.
Because he enjoyed it.
Yeah, he sure did. He was right there.
Hey, you got a new hat.
I sure did.
I like that.
Got it from our friend Donnie Reeve.
Generous.
He gave it to Mom, and Mom didn't want it.
You could
So-
easily,
wonder
you could
why.
easily get a black and white photo and be like a Russian soldier back in the
Yeah,
40s.
I don't know a thing of Russian.
Well, like Glenn gave you that picture where he remade
My 5th
you
birthday,
in,
they
Civil
photoshopped
War.
my head onto Civil War
They
soldiers.
also did that with your grandma too.
But they didn't
When you
Photoshop.
were-
I just looked just like Grandma, my mom's mom.
when she
when I
a
was
little
about
kid.
She had a
9 or
thicker.
10.
She had a better beard than you did, but
That's true.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
fuller.
Grandma.
Sorry about
Anyway.
that too.
We just talked about me, which is fun, and we talked about my whisper room. You alluded to that. But now we're to the part of the podcast. We haven't done it for a little bit, but the part that
everybody's been waiting for.
Drew's been,
People have been clamoring for.
yeah.
Well, I
So-
hope they didn't get their hopes up. I mean,
Without
I've got
further
some stuff
ado,
here.
we'll get to it.
What does that hat look like with the flaps down?
I was hoping you weren't going to say, what does that head look like without the hat on?
It looks
I know what
really
that looks
warm.
Wow, that does look warm.
It's actually muffled. It's kind of, I could do my voiceovers in here. Just
Maybe we could
It's a
all wear
studio.
one.
like this.
It's a studio within a studio.
Yeah,
It's a different look when you've got it down like that. You look like Goofy.
that makes sense.
You look like Goofy.
You do look good.
I'm a little goofy too. Anyway, let's do this day in history.
We got this day in history,
Drew's excited about it, as you can tell.
and it's December 30th. I probably should have picked December 31st, but if the podcast is going strong next year, we'll maybe pick December 31st instead, because we'll have to pick a few days, obviously, because this day in history will be all the same history that I'll be bringing. Well, there are plenty of other historical dates that I do not present. It's not like I bring an exhaustive list here. I mean, these are only a few, but
Yeah, that's only a page and a half long.
I think it's obvious too that as fast as we're growing, and as much as people are, a lot of people are begging for more than once a week.
Yep.
They
We're
want
saying
more
we
of us.
cannot
We
wait.
want more of you guys.
I would almost think that by next year we might be doing it every day. So then you'd have to have this day in history, December 31st and December 30th. You know what I mean?
that's true. I'd
But
have
by
to
then
pick-
people will have forgotten.
Then you
What's
gotta
the
be smart
saying?
about that and
Slow and
save
steady
them.
wins the race. We're probably the tortoise, not the hare right now.
I would think.
well, you're the hair.
Here's Brando.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Go ahead, Drew.
that's all
Light
right.
us
We got
up.
plenty of
Enlighten
time.
us.
And I'm I get nervous. I read too fast probably, so
Don't get nervous.
we can waste a little more time. But I guess I'll just get into it.
And I'd be happy to take the last 4 or 5 minutes and just talk
Yeah.
about things if you need me to.
That's what Dad.
You weren't
That's what
planning on
Dad
doing
does
that
for us.
anyway?
I do it every
Yeah.
week.
Whew. All right. December 30th, today in history. 1460 was the War of Roses. Battle of Wakefield, Northern England. Duke of York killed and his forces soundly defeated by forces for King Henry VI. The War of Roses were a series of bloody civil wars for the throne of England between two competing royal families, the House of York, because the Duke of York, and the House of Lancaster, both members of the age-old royal Plantagenet family. Nailed it. Waged between 1455 to 1485. That's 30 years, in case anybody's keeping track. The Wars of
families.
Roses earned its flowery name because the white rose was the badge of the Yorks, and the red rose was the badge of the Lancastrians.
Who won again?
Huh?
Who won again? The Lancasters or the Yorks?
I think it was Lancasters.
I think
Because
right after that, then with all the pillaging and stuff like that, they were able to get out of that. That they then opened up in Cross Plains, Piggly Wiggly. They
The
franchised it. Yep.
Lancasters,
They were the last family.
the Lancasters own.
Yeah, Terrence. Yep, Terrence.
Wow, that
Terrence
was-
the fourth.
That was quite a stretch, Joe.
That was a
Terrence the
stretch.
fourth, I think.
I thought he was going to talk about the Lancaster School there. That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
No, that's
He's
the
starting
flying
to do
arrows.
what
Those are the
he's
flying
doing.
arrows.
I knew for sure that we weren't going to get anything that serious.
But are you done kind of with that?
But do we
I don't
know
wanna interrupt
that I'm
story.
wrong?
Joe definitely interrupted.
Because I was just
it.
going to say this. You remember when we were talking about New Glarus?
And New
Remember I
York.
was saying how New Holland and New London, York, see? New York.
Yeah.
See how
Right
that all
again.
happens?
Yep.
The old country has the
Terry's,
like York.
Piggly Wiggly, Lancasters.
New Terry's Piggly Wiggly.
Well, now that what's his face is
Thomas.
Tommy Lancaster's running the show. I noticed
Taylor was
big-
in my class.
Some big differences there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I haven't been there, but I'm sure there are some big
That
differences.
2001
Well, the
class
biggest-
has
one of the
produced
biggest
some
differences-
CEOs. Joe's a CEO of
CE
Vaughn.
Joe.
One
Tommy
of the biggest.
Lancaster.
Tommy's my class.
That's what I said.
2008.
Oh,
I thought you said
He
you
got
was in
held. He
Lancaster.
got held back 3 years.
My bad.
One of the
That,
biggest.
that didn't flow as well as I was hoping.
That's all right.
That's right. That happens to you
He was
sometimes.
in high school
Taylor.
for 6 years.
Taylor was in my
but he
class.
was in Lancaster.
Tommy?
Taylor.
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 That's a female.
My
And
bad. Taylor.
Taryn was in
My
my
bad, Taylor.
class.
I was out of
That's
school.
a
My
whiff
bad.
right there.
Chip, John.
John was in college.
Maybe they're
when
co-
those things
maybe
were
they're
going.
co-owners.
She
Yeah,
was at
they
state,
probably are. But
Maybe.
Yeah,
One of them
I mean-
wasn't a pilot.
I think the
I'll
biggest
say yes
change
to help
is
you
since
out
you've
there.
been in there last is that Tommy's the CEO now.
And isn't he
Or
the
owner.
CEO of the girls' soccer?
Well, more of a coach, but
Right, but I mean, you can call him and
Yeah.
he's in charge.
He might be the
maybe
mayor
that's what the C stands
of the
for in
girls'
CEO.
soccer team. He's the mayor of the.
You're going there.
Let's get back on track.
Try to get
Let's get
involved.
back on track.
I'm fine with
I'm
it.
totally involved here.
Especially since that wasn't that exciting.
I'm
of a-
invested, Drew. I don't know if you
What Hudson's comment? Yeah, that
Yeah.
wasn't
That was
very
out of
great.
bounds when
Mine
Joe
was
started it.
educational.
In 1610, Hungarian aristocrat Elizabeth Bathory arrested at Szigeti. I don't know.
Was there several S's there?
C
Oh, C.
S E J T E.
Okay.
Shetty.
The C is
Jetty.
silent. You're saying the C is silent, probably, right?
Yep, Castle. On suspicion of killing and torturing hundreds of young girls and women. Bathory and 4 of her servants were accused of torturing and killing hundreds of girls and women between 1590 and 1610. So her servants
19
were
years.
put on trial and convicted, whereas Bathory was confined to her home. So she just had house arrest. So there was, she's in history, she's considered one of the, for a female, like the serial killer. She's like the
first
One of the
female
first
version.
version.
Yeah, right.
Really?
And we got a picture of her,
Most
Joe?
infamous.
I thought you'd have been right on that. I'm not
He's
just
still
getting
thinking
down
about
on
his
you or anything.
Lancaster joke.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he was. Although that screen's we're gonna have to post it with Damon, because remember the last time we looked at the podcast,
That's okay.
the screen wasn't very good.
That's all right.
What was her name again?
Elizabeth Bathory.
Is that with an A or a
It's Bathory, but the A is a little accent
she
mark
is.
on it.
Hungarian serial killer?
Yep.
Oh,
I don't think that's her. That looks like a. There you go. That's one.
Can we enlarge that a little bit? Give that a full screener?
Yeah, there you go. There's Bathory.
Yep.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it,
Bathory.
Bathory?
Tuscaloosa.
but that's
She doesn't look that intimidating,
Menacing.
but I
She
suppose if you
doesn't.
got a bunch of
Servants were.
servants,
Victims
yeah.
greater than 80 up to 650 allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. There was
And that was in
What?
a 20-year span.
yeah.
Who's-
She was
who's-
doing some
who's-
work there,
who's watching over these things?
putting in some late hours.
Where are all these kids going?
The kind of the amazing thing about back then though is like how did they figure out like I'm saying like okay, so one person tells on her, says, hey, this is what happened or whatever, my daughter's missing, and then it's like how do you get to 650 then? Like back then I'm saying like was Sherlock Holmes back there?
I
or-
don't know if maybe people just didn't care that much.
Okay.
But
they
there was
were-
all
maybe
sorts of there's all sorts of myths and legend surrounding her, and then there's some stories that came from that as well.
Yeah, so maybe it was
Yeah, who knows?
embellished a
Yeah,
little.
maybe some of it was embellished, but either way. In 1809, wearing masks at balls or dances, forbidden in Boston as its citizens believed this practice was detrimental to morals. So the masks, like a masquerade ball, that was
The ones
that
that
was
they put up like this.
exactly. Those were forbidden in 1809 in Boston.
Verboten.
They were talking about the reason some of those banned in Boston. That used to be a slogan. I never heard it during my days, but apparently it's because of their Puritan past. Lots of banning of things.
I
and
can see
making
that
things
thou art
forbidden.
very religious.
Exactly. Okay. In 1853, there was a dinner party that was held inside a life-size model of a iguanodon,
Ooh,
an
iguana.
ornithopod dinosaur, created by Benjamin Waterhouse Hawkins. He's got another last name there. And Sir Richard Owen in South London. A group of scientists, businessmen, and newspapermen sat down to dinner inside a life-size iguanodon model. It was one of the first reconstructions of a dinosaur ever made, and the dinner was a publicity stunt that helped launch an incredibly successful craze, our obsession with dinosaurs.
Oh, there he is right there.
There's an
Iguanodon.
iguanodon.
So
That
an
looks like an
iguanodon,
iguanodon.
what is so we know what iguana means. What does don? Does that mean monster?
Dinosaur,
Does
maybe?
that mean large creature? What does don
Or
mean?
Spanish Lord.
Don Glutz.
Okay.
Dino?
Well, maybe like lord, like large, like
Yeah,
master
maybe.
kind
They
of.
were called Don Juans.
Yeah.
That reminds
That's
me
what,
a little bit of not necessarily just I'm talking about the dark being in black and white of Trog.
Oh, yeah, Trog.
Nothing like it.
No, I'm not saying he look. I'm just saying
Actually,
just
that
that.
face looks like when Drew was up for the All-Star game when he was ripping
Oh.
that bat
Determined.
ball. I mean, that's determination,
That's what I was.
orneriness.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of right there, the iguanodon.
Yeah, I'm going to be an iguanodon here at the
Yeah.
All-Star game.
Okay, let's fast forward to 1896. This Stanley Cup doesn't really have any meaning to any of us, but it was on a granite rink. Let's try that again. 1896 Stanley Cup at Granite Rink in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Ernie McLeay scores a hat trick as the Montreal Victorias beat the Winnipeg Victorias. Why do they have the same nickname?
In honor of the Queen Victoria.
I guess so. 6-5.
Their queen back then.
Yep. First Stanley Cup Challenge game played outside of Montreal. So I just thought it was kind of interesting.
Montreal and Montreal.
Yep.
They're sister cities.
I thought it was just kind of interesting that they were both the Victorias.
Yeah, that is interesting.
That is weird.
That wasn't the first
Victorias.
whatchamacallit.
Stanley Cup.
Lord Stanley's
was it?
Cup.
Well, you wonder
Must
too
have
how
been
many teams.
Well, check first World Stanley Cup, Joe. What year was that, Drew? 18 something?
This was
1906.
1896.
World Stanley Cup.
I don't think you say
No,
world.
first
I think
Lords. It's just the first Stanley Cup.
first Stanley.
I think you can just do Stanley
First
Cup.
Stanley Cup.
But you wonder how many teams were in this league
Lord
because
Stanley's first name.
it's like why would you
Stanley.
both be named Victorias?
Well, there weren't that many. I think back in the
Winners.
30s and 40s, I think there were only 8 NHL teams.
Yeah,
now
but-
they come and go, obviously. But
Right, but you would think
1894, March 17th.
that-
1894.
Patty's
What was
Day.
it? 1897.
96.
So that's just 2 years later.
2 years later.
I just don't completely understand why they both have to be named Victorias. It
Yeah.
seem like you could be a little more creative than that. It's
Montreal
the
Hockey Club
the club
and
just down the
Montreal
road, the Victorias.
At the
Oh, let's be the
Victoria Rink.
Victorias
We're going to
too.
go play the New Glarus Vanguards.
Yeah,
And then we're going to go play the Lake Mills Vanguards.
Yeah.
And then over
Maybe
to play the
they're-
Mount
maybe
Horeb
the Queen-
Vanguards.
Said you have to, in honor of me, you have to name all your sports teams after me. So they had to be the Victorias, or else they got their heads
I think
lopped
if we
off.
look back at history, there wouldn't be all of these teams named the Victorias.
Maybe they didn't. Maybe they didn't
maybe they did.
communicate as well back then. I mean, it was 1896,
That's true.
so maybe they didn't even know who we playing. Well, we're playing that team from Montreal. They don't even know till they get there.
Yeah.
Maybe they were the victors of both of their.
They just play game to game. They're not
Yeah.
on to
Their
the next
name.
one.
Yeah, they don't care what the name is.
Yeah.
They're not
They
bothered by
literally
it.
took
But that's a
that
good
dude.
point. I mean, why would you name 2 professional
Well, they're in
hockey
the same
teams? as-
city. They're not in the same city.
Yeah,
They don't
Winnipeg
play in the same
and
city.
Yeah, Winnipeg is in a different
That's
place
true.
than Montreal.
That's true.
Quebec and
That's a fact.
Manitoba.
Moving on to 1907, Abraham Mills's Mills Committee declares baseball was invented in 1839 by future American Civil War General Abner Doubleday in Cooperstown, New York. This is widely disproven, now known as the Doubleday myth.
How do you spell that last name?
Doubleday? Just
Mills.
like it sounds.
Mills. Ziz.
Mills?
it sounded like you said Mills is.
Mills
I mean,
is.
Well, I did because it was Abraham Mills's
I see.
Mills
It is just Mills.
committee. I wanted to emphasize that.
Okay, but
Wasn't that
the Mills Committee?
Wasn't it
Put that in there.
Stickety Mishticken? Wasn't that
Sticky McSchmickens?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the first one?
I think
Two
so.
teams.
Two
9-person
9-person teams.
Only 18.
Yeah. Damon's got to put a little clip in there. Just
Oh, God dang, I don't know, that was tough.
Yes, and tie goes to the runner.
Why's that?
Because those are the rules of Sticky McSnickens. That's why.
Perfect.
So that
was the 4th president of the National League of Professional Baseball Clubs.
Yep.
It's a long
The
title.
Mills Commission on the Origins of Baseball reports that the game was invented by Abner Doubleday in Cooperstown, New York in 1839. The commission is convinced by the testimony of Abner Graves, why they share the same name, I'm not sure. Seems like it could have had different names.
Just like the Victorious.
Right. Who claimed to be a childhood companion of Doubleday's. Graves' story is later verified when an old rotting ball is found among his personal effects. So he had a baseball. I'm not sure why that proves anything. The ball is now in the Hall of Fame. The commission ignores the fact that Doubleday did not graduate from West Point until 1842. So
it was already created
3 years prior. They claim that.
So
is that where
Abraham Mills supposedly created baseball?
No,
No,
Abner Doubleday.
He did. Okay.
And if you remember Ken
Double
Burns'
play.
baseball,
Yeah.
remember he talked about how, according to legend, that he wrote down the first rules of baseball while at West Point. But that's been disputed.
Disproven.
And I think that some of it was because I think there was this English game called Rounders as well.
Yeah.
And so they were claiming that they had the origin of baseball. So I think there was a little bit of a race to space there.
We should get Ken on here.
Yeah.
Just ask him some questions. I think he'd like.
Let's check on that. Let's see if we can get Ken Burns
I'll get my
on.
people to talk to his
Peter
people.
Coyote can do the
Oh, that'd be great.
intros and outros for our
Would be fun.
podcast.
Yeah, I think you would do it. I would do it. I would. Because we had so much cold recently, I snuck these in here.
Ooh, good.
1917, negative 32 degrees Fahrenheit in Mountain City, Tennessee, which is a state record.
Wow.
Also in 1917, 37 degrees below in Lewisburg, West Virginia, also a state record. I went and checked on this most recent freeze that we had.
That's a good idea.
In Mountain City, Tennessee, it was just, I think, like 4 degrees, negative 4 degrees,
so
which is cold.
They never got close. to
That's
that.
they're not used to that.
Oh, that's cold.
It's cold out
That's
there.
cold out there.
Tennessee
Then in
chill.
1933, another weather related, negative 50 degrees in Bloomfield, Vermont, state record. Rewinding a bit, because I wanted to, couple
Because
those
you stuck
two.
those in there. That doesn't mean they had to be in context. Go ahead.
Perfect.
Chronological order.
Astronomer Edwin Hubble formally announces existence of other galactic systems at meeting of the American Astronomical Society.
Eddie Hubble.
I wonder if he came
Hubble
with any.
Yeah, it's
I
still
wonder
out
if he,
there.
I wonder if he
Hubble
came
telescope.
with any evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Problem
I'm going to
is-
announce something. There is a galactic system out there.
Yeah.
That's all he did.
But now, Hubble's kind of gone by the wayside with the new
Yeah.
one that's out there. That's that one's getting all the publicity.
Yeah.
The Hubble's just sitting out there, just taking pictures of things that are maybe not as exciting anymore.
Yeah, not deep enough for them.
That's what happens, though.
But we brought it up
November
on our
20th.
podcast.
Yep.
1939 of Mice and Men, starring Burgess Meredith as George, Lon Chaney Jr. as Lenny, is released. So that was a 1939 film
What was the name
so,
of it?
So
of Mice
Here's-
and Men.
I know, but the guys.
Burgess Meredith.
don't wait. Just before you.
Just wait.
It wasn't the
you
same
know,
one.
You know something about Burgess Meredith?
No.
Okay. What
Oh,
part?
to the moon, Alice.
No, what
Oh.
part did Burgess Meredith play in the 60s kind of tongue-in-cheek Batman? Which one of the
Penguin.
The Penguin.
Yeah,
Yep.
Penguin.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was Burgess Meredith. Just so you know.
That guy, the one that.
He had a cigar
with Adam
all the
West.
time.
A
or
little better
something. Yeah.
looking when he was younger, which probably
Where
makes
is
sense.
he? Which one is he?
is the
Ned Beatty?
Oh yeah, that does look like him. If he
served.
were to have his,
Yeah.
Maybe
There's a
you'll
penguin.
have-
there he is.
Yeah, there he
yeah,
is.
There he is.
Nice.
Oh, he was also in Rocky.
Burgess.
That's right. He was.
Oh, he's the old guy in Rocky.
Mickey.
Mickey.
Interesting.
1941, maybe Damon can post a little picture, maybe even Joe can, I'm not sure if they'll see it. In an emotional speech to the Canadian Parliament, Winston Churchill states Britain will never surrender to Hitler and his Nazi gang, and that they have asked for total war. Let us make sure they get it.
Ooh.
Afterwards, Josef Karsh captures him in his famous photograph, The Roaring Lion, where he's kind of over that chair, and he's. I think he might have
a little harsh.
A little harsh?
Yeah, a little harsh.
Oh, nice. Play on words there.
Yeah.
Can always depend on that from you.
Yes, sir.
1953, the first ever NTSC color television sets go on sale for about $1,175 each from RCA.
Wow.
What year was that?
$1,100.
What year was that?
1953.
Do you know when we got our first color TV? What year was it?
What are you talking
think?
about? Our? You're talking
My
about
family
your
at home.
Oh,
My
at home.
3 brothers.
67.
What is that?
I think that was it. My parents or brothers might
Is it
remember
like a-
differently.
is it like a
This
3-inch
was like
TV right here was
1967.
like $130.
Is it like a 3-inch screen?
Well, no, it's bigger than that, but it's not very big.
Huddle around the TV.
I mean, look at that one picture up there. That person, it's got to be, what, 18 inches or at the most?
Wow, that's
12,
nice hair.
maybe a
12
foot.
inches, yeah.
I guess if it's across, if they do it across.
These guys all must be
diagonally.
shopping with their wives because
Yeah, they're watching.
yeah,
they're
going to
trying out the
TV
TVs.
place.
They're out
Yeah.
doing the other stuff.
You'd find when we would go shopping with Mom, you'd always find me in the video game section
That's not
because they'd have the controllers there.
You know, seriously though, like when we'd go shopping as kids, I think I told you that, like there'd be a big ball game on, and a lot of the men and boys would be standing around the TVs watching the ball game because you couldn't tape it
Yeah. It's the only reason why they went shopping.
and watch it on a phone. Yep.
Near and dear to our hearts here, 1962 National Football League Championship in Yankee Stadium, New York City. Green Bay Packers beat New York Giants 16-7 easily. MVP was Ray Nitschke.
What Giants?
bet number
That's what I'd say.
66.
What
1960
Giants?
what?
Eat it, Giants.
62.
I say.
2 years after Dad's birth.
Not really Giants because they got beat.
Yep.
Yep.
That's fun.
Bart Starr was the quarterback, and
Was that the second, or that was a championship?
and
That was
Paul
before.
Horning, and
There's Kramer right there, Fuzzy Thurston.
Fuzzy Thurston is 63, and then you've got Jim Ringo 51, and
Yep.
76 is Bob Skaronsky.
Who's 95?
95?
That's Forrest Gregg.
That's
That's
Forrest
Forrest
Gregg
Gregg.
there, and that's
Greatest
This
football
guy,
player.
85. What is he?
that's
McGee, right?
Max McGee.
Max McGee.
And
That's the greatest
Taylor's
football
up
player,
31, and I think Kramer. There's another. No, Long maybe 88. Yeah, that's kind of
Go
their
Long.
starting offense. It looks like
This isn't that what didn't
Forrest Gregg.
yeah, isn't that what Vince Lombardi said he was the greatest football player he ever coached?
best.
Oh.
And that's saying something.
That's
That
hurt.
is
That
saying
hurts
something.
the other guys.
This
feelings.
hat-
Wow, look at how
is
small their
very
team
itchy.
is. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about like numbers wise.
Was that the 62?
It's supposedly, yeah.
So they had guys that played both ways, or they just.
Well, some, and they didn't have most
They
of
couldn't
those
afford 'em.
guys didn't have. They didn't have. You had a punter.
Well, how is that?
You
How
had
is that?
somebody that doubled
can't
as a
be.
punter, somebody that doubled as a kicker.
Where's
the
number
quarterbacks? The quarterbacks always did the holding, so you didn't have all these specialty.
Paul
things.
Hornung isn't in there.
Yeah, he's suspended here, I think, or hurt.
He was suspended
Gambling.
for gambling one of the years.
Yeah.
They had 34 guys on their team. I mean,
Wow,
probably
is that
35.
53 now? Is it 53?
Yeah.
Wow. That's almost.
But that's him right there, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I got
The
2
golden
left,
boy.
and then I got some fun holidays.
Okay,
can
we got to
jump
go.
up.
Yeah,
1968, Frank Sinatra first records, and we did it my way. With lyrics.
Huds had a few.
You're watching one.
Lyrics were written by Paul Anka
Paul Anka.
Anka?
Put your head on my
Ankle?
shoulder.
and based on the French song Comme des habitudes. It's probably exactly what it is. In 1980, Wonderful World of Disney, last performance on NBC TV.
what a sad
Farewell.
day.
Yeah.
Wonderful World of Disney.
Yeah.
All right,
Paul Anka.
here's some fun holidays. National Bacon Day.
Ooh,
Feels like every day should be National Bacon Day. Yeah. National Resolution Planning Day, which makes sense
Worst day of the
because
year.
31st.
If you haven't planned your resolution yet, get on it right
Get on
now.
That's something we should have reminded them throughout that this is
We should-
December 30th.
We
that
should
we're
talk
looking at.
National
about
Resolution Planning Day.
our resolutions, although we don't.
Well, we
do
already
them.
heard Dad's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just make sure he
And
starts
this
the
I
clock
did
on
it.
time.
I did it
And he
early.
Wow,
I
it's not
started
even
it
next
early.
year
on
yet, and
time.
you're already on it.
I know.
Wow,
That's the kind of person I am.
that's
Get
real
the
change.
momentum you need. That's what
real
you're doing.
change.
Yep.
And then there's also Falling Needles Family Fest Day.
Pine needles?
I'm going to tell you about this.
Please do.
This day reminds us to clean up Christmas trees and recycle them instead of letting them rot. I was wondering, why not let them rot? Christmas is a pretty important celebration, so naturally, everyone pulls out all the stops. Live Christmas trees are usually the centerpiece of the decorations at a lot of people's houses. So what happens to the tree after Christmas is over? What does happen? Lights and tinsel can go into storage until the next year, but real trees will need to be disposed of safely. Wear those gloves.
There goes I was just going to put it under the basement steps when I was done with it.
The best way to clean up your live tree is to make sure it gets recycled.
What?
How do you recycle it?
Here it is.
Real Christmas trees are biodegradable, which means they can be easily reused or recycled for mulch and other purposes.
You know what you could also do? Cut the limbs off and throw it in the fireplace. That's another way to reuse
What
it.
size of fireplace do you have?
That's why I said cut it off. Cut it out.
Those have you ever burnt a Christmas
Think
tree
about it just a
that's
little bit.
old?
The whole thing.
Then
you have to cut it.
Oh, they burn so fast. That's why you think about those. Back in the day, they put candles on them.
Yeah, they were begging for.
It's
for
like
fires.
your house is going to burn, along with that really faulty chimney.
No, I wonder why our house burned.
And candles everywhere, and kerosene lanterns and stuff
Better
like
have
that.
a
Enough.
fire alarm.
You wearing aftershave?
Harry? You wearing aftershave?
That's not aftershave, that's kerosene.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyway, you can recycle. Please recycle your.
Please
trees.
recycle.
Please.
Recycle
be responsible.
your
Do
live trees.
your job.
Yasix did it.
Yep, they're doing it right now. It's right out
I
there
think
on the
I
curb.
think that Mazo has a service where they drive around and grab them.
How many chips can a wood chip chip?
Yep,
If a wood chip could
can't chip wood.
Wood Christmas trees.
Yep, wood. Yep.
Wood Christmas trees.
Mm-hmm. So that's what you got to do because they're biodegradable, like a banana peel is.
Mm-hmm.
And gum.
But if
After
you throw a
long
banana
time.
peel, if you throw a Christmas tree off the side of the road, it might be there for a while.
That's littering.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
So this is the 39th episode.
This has been the 39th episode.
I wish it could keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you, I know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we can only be here so much and produce so much
It's
content.
like,
we have jobs.
What is that saying? You want them coming back for more.
Yeah.
We don't want you to say, okay, enough's enough.
I wonder if the Whisper Room was...
They might already be saying that. So
who do we need to thank?
Too much.
Everyone.
Too much.
We need to thank Handlebar Performance.
Aaron.
We need to thank
Buildings.
Wick.
We already did that in our
VO merch.
38th episode.
We need to thank Lydia for that beautiful decoration.
Yep.
We
And
need to thank Donnie Reeve for his hat.
Yep.
Carhartt.
Yep.
Drew's got it on two.
Rawlings, New Balance,
back to back.
sections in a row.
Vortex.
Yep.
Columbia. Why not?
My sponsor.
How about this?
New Balance.
How about
New Balance.
this? Thank you guys
Oh, thank
for being part of this.
That's right.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we got.
Did you get all you needed?
I think I've got all as we head in to the new year. We're really taking off here, and we are going to have some really fun things.
Yep.
I just
My
know we
real
are.
concern usually is at the very end when you have a clipboard. Then I know for sure you're going to say a lot.
Nope,
You didn't come with a clipboard.
Nope.
That's
Let's
why.
do the first thing. Let's lose the clipboard.
Yep. I just know I know my spot now. So I know husband wants to get going here. So
Well, we need to get going. So,
Yep.
Thanks for watching the 39th episode. We'll be signing off from the original Father Son Voiceover Podcast Studios, and we will see you next year. Although I think this comes out after the new year, so
right.
that joke doesn't even work.
Yep.
Oh.
We'll see you later.
Did our best.
Did you like that video? Check out more from the original Father Son Voiceover Podcast right over here, or subscribe to our channel right here.